Okay, so this would be a rather typical glue up scenario. So I've got, this is actually pretty short, but remember, you can take these 2 or 3 of these benches and line them up if you have tables, big table, the floor, whatever. And then you can do long glue up. So this was a glue up of what, maple with black walnut, right? So I had to go this direction to put the caps on. I maybe eventually I'm going to do some routering on here for a mortise. I'm able to get glue pressure going that direction using those clamps that sit right on there, and I'm able to get glue pressure going this direction with the Bessies going down. This one is in here just really for show. That's a 24-inch, and you can go up to 36 and then 48, so you can actually extend out. Like you can put a bunch of those on and go out. I've got all my tools handy, so whatever the project is going to be, I'll kind of line this up. I've got the the router with the round over a bit. I have my GRKs. I have my Milwaukee Impact with a T25. I've got my heavy duty Milwaukee driver. I've got the driver for this because this is how you do those, right? And you do some manually as well. But I have an extra driver ready. I have more bits ready. I have my micro round over bit ready. Then when we go up to the third tier, I have my 9-foot ruler. That's all I use in the shop, 9 and a 6. I don't use the big monsters anymore. I have my digital. I have pencils. I have my Sharpie. I have a 6-inch Incra. I have a 3-inch Incra. And you know what I don't have in here, but it actually fits, is a speed square right down in there. I can put a 9-inch or 8-inch speed square. I use this all the time in Allen, right? And then I've got all of these. These are my threaded tenons. I've got the 5-hole and then the 3-hole, so I have those all ready to go. I have my GRKs all ready to go, depending on the job, the length of them on that, but they're all 1/4 inchers. I have some special slip washers that I actually have made up. You can buy some stuff like that, automotive wise. But then I have my 5/16 inch bolts that are all ready to go. Again, I just have a variety in here right now, but if it were a project, I would have those all set to go. I then have the driver for those types of bolts. I have the other kinds of ratchets. I have my Allen wrench, which is the thing that fits, in those guys, right? It's all set to go. If I'm doing glue ups, I typically use 2 different kinds of glue on a project. So I'm going to use the regular wood glue, and then I'm going to use Gorilla. And look at this guy. It's even got the slot in there for the goofy shape that they have on. Ooh, I don't want to spill that. But on there, that little goofy cap on there. So you can actually put that right in there. It works great. And then this is the scraper that I use for taming the Gorilla. That's my Gorilla term. And then I'm almost always going to use brushes. So I've got a couple of those. I have a small Allen. I can put some clamps, just any kind of clamps. You can hang them on there. And the only weak spot, I'm rocking that thing, right? The only weak spot is almost the table itself. And that's a Festool table. That's like a $700 table, right? So you're going to see some previous videos where I used a piece of pine. This was the first run at it, and I made some changes to it since that video. So you're going to see these slots, but I needed a little more space right here to get these clamps in, so I widened that out. I did a little something different with the joinery on it. I eliminated this slot down the middle because it just didn't seem to work well. Instead, I went to a T-track, and I used a shaper to put that in there. I'll show you a video of that. But I did not do that on the CNC, but it's down about a 1/4 inch. I even have to make a change to that. I have to drop it down about another 1/8 of an inch, which is fine. And then the second shelf, the second tier again is 5.5 inches by 24. This is pine. And if I get time, I'm gonna do another one. And then I would do it in hardwood because this seems to be the weakest point in the whole link right here, and that's because it's pine. And so this one here should really be hardwood. So I'm going to redo that. But because this is all knockdown type of construction, All of these come off with just a simple, you know, few turns of a wrench, and it's all set to go. I can take it apart. So I can take this off. I can take this piece out of there, make a new piece, put the new piece in, and we're ready to go. I can put this guy right back on. We're all ready to go. I do not have my my 1, 2, 3, 4. I do not have the 4th tier up here yet, which is a really short one. It's just meant for coffee cups and my digital devices. I'm hoping I can get at that before I turn this thing in, but otherwise I'm not. So again, there's a huge amount of strength on it. It's locked into the MDF board, which is the Festool, you know, with the dogs. Now their spacing is a little different than the Craig's. The Craig's have a little different, but I laid this out that we can actually fit either one. There's enough of a closeness of resemblance and spacing. I can do that. I think on the future, what I'll do is instead of making this a fixed position, I'll actually make it a slot so that that piece could slide underneath there and fit any table. This will also work on a picnic table. The other area where this will work, and you'll see it in the drawings, and you can see that, I'll show you here, I've done this before, and that is I have a lot of this yellow scaffolding left over from when I was building log homes, and it's there's a 27.5, I think it's 27.5 inch spread between the two on centers. So this bench is designed to fit specifically to rack right on top of these. So instead of using the feet underneath, it actually attaches to this. I'll show you that in some of the drawings. I don't have time to, you know, actually go ahead and set it on there now because I want to get some of the other stuff worked out. The other way that they're going to mount is like this. This is an earlier version of it. These are US Generals. They're from, come on, you help me out, Harbor Freight, right? And I had a bunch of those around, and for the price, you know, they worked. And I keep all my tools and stuff in there, my bits and everything, but I thought, why not just use that? So I also have this MikroBench set up that you remove this handle from there temporarily. You then would mount the bench, the MikroBench in there, and then you can even put the handle right back on, and then that guy would go up here like that. And so then you can roll it around, you know, when you're doing this. The same thing with the scaffolding. So you can see some of the previous versions that I've done of this. I've been playing with it for quite a while. Oh my gosh, look at that, how crazy some of this stuff gets. It's a lot of fun, and you can customize them. I haven't done one yet for Craig, but I'm gonna add on that same bench a thing that I can just do like I did here, where you basically mount your Craigs on it. I have several of these drill presses, the smaller drill presses, because I like to set up a small, inexpensive drill press for a specific use. It's not heavy duty. Like here, I've got what, a 1/2 inch or a 3/8 inch Forstner for some type of use, right? And then that gets mounted on there. And I'm gonna do the same thing. So this guy, and then I have several of the Wens, those little Wen 8-inch guys right here, right? And that'll go on there. And then, you know what I didn't set it up for yet, but I'm going to, is, you know, a small vise or two, and those are just clamp-ons, so there's no reason that it really can't just clamp on. Probably down in here where it's really, really strong, so I can just have clamp-on vices down there. And then you can see what I did here with the Rikon and Craftsman, the older Craftsman, you know, before Sears shut down. I think Craftsman used Rikon. Everything seems to be identical on it. It's a 10-inch bandsaw. It actually works really, really well. This is just a great value point on bandsaws. Well, this thing is set up so that will sit right here. And then because of the T-track, we have all kinds of options for attaching just about anything. And again, we'll also have these that go in, and then it may not come out because I have this other piece in there right now, but you get the idea. It'll come right through. Yep, there it is. Okay, so that goes right in there. Once it's in, then you can turn it that way, you can turn it that way, whatever. So you have all kinds of options for clamping other things to this. I kept the height here at, this is height from 20 inches from here to here, and that's basically so that the bandsaw would clear it. Actually, no, that was basically so that the drill press would clear it, because in the drill press, again, I just took this off, the drill press will sit right here There's a clamp in the way right now because you can't do everything all at the same time, right? So this clamp would be pulled out of here. The drill press will sit right there. And I have a riser underneath there so you can get underneath to put a nut, a couple of nuts on there to lock her down. But you can put a drill press on this side. You can put a drill press on the other side. And I'll show you that on the drawings, on the 3D drawings. So there we go. Boy, there's so many other things you could do to this thing, but this is really going to be, and it is already useful, but it's going to be fun just continually adding to this thing and see what I can do to it.